The only local news teams taking action for you. KIMA KEPR Action News starts now.
Coming up this morning on Action News, fire coverage continues as we move through the season. Not much new to report on the retreat fire near Natchez, but the Okanagan-Wenatchee Forest says their number of holdover fires has gone up, now at 33 that have been started by lightning. We'll share the latest. Plus, changes are coming to the Sunnyside School Board election system. The goal, to make sure Latinx votes are not diluted. The new system will make 2025's election similar to Yakima City Council's 2022 elections. We'll dive into the change. And it's almost back to school season, meaning kids will have to get that jab in the arm if they're not yet up to date. It needs to be done by the first day of school, and for Tri-City schools, that's less than 2 weeks away. We'll talk the vaccines they need. We'll have that story and more coming up as you start your day with us right here on Action News. Good Thursday morning, everybody. I'm Dave Furtado.
And I'm meteorologist Jefferson Donovan.
And Jefferson, I got to say, it's been really nice having these temperatures back down into the 80s. I don't even have to use the AC. I can just open a window and hopefully hopefully a box fan there will help bring in all that cool air.
Sure. It has been nice. Now, as we go into the weekend, we're going to see a little bit of a warm-up. We're also going to be introducing thunderstorms to the forecast. In fact, let's take a look at the Tri-Cities weather cam. This is pointed south, and south is where we are going to be looking throughout the day as we have moisture streaming up from the south into our forecast area that may spawn a few showers or thunderstorms. Again, that's going to be something that we track throughout the day. The threat for thunderstorms today is not too great, especially on the Washington side of the border, but still that small chance of showers and thunderstorms will be existing for this penultimate day of the work week. It's another morning where temperatures are pretty nice as you step outside, 58 degrees. I would argue that temperatures in the 50s pretty nice at this time of the morning as opposed to the 70s like we were talking about not too long ago, even at your 5 a.m. hour. Here's a look at your weather headlines today. There is going to be a slight chance of those thunderstorms today, as I've already mentioned, but again, the key word there is slight. Most of us will be staying calm. Now, the calm weather does return for virtually everyone on Friday, and then there's going to be a better chance for some thunderstorms on Saturday, especially towards the Yakima and Kittitas valleys. We'll dive deeper into all three of these weather headlines coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. We begin this morning in the Tri-Cities. Multiple neighbors had to evacuate their homes after an early morning house fire. The Kennewick Fire Department was called to the 2300 block of North Utah Street just after 2 Wednesday morning for reports that a home was on fire with possibly people still inside. Arriving crews began evacuating nearby homes, and firefighters were eventually able to break into the home through a window. They searched the house, later confirming that it was empty. Crews were able to bring the fire under control after about 30 minutes, but they remained on scene to douse hotspots and search for hidden void spaces. No injuries were reported, and the cause of the blaze is still under investigation. Now on to the latest update regarding the retreat fire in Yakima County. Newly published data reveals the acreage and containment are the same, while additional personnel have been added, bringing the number to 372 firefighters. As for the lightning-caused fires in the Okanagan-Wenatchee Forest, the USDA Forest Service confirmed 33 fires started via lightning. The 3 bigger fires, Stave Creek, Thomas Mountain, and Lodgepole, combine a total of 34 acres. The only fire of those 3 with containment is the Thomas Mountain fire at 20%. Most of the fires were around 1/10 of an acre or less and are contained. Some of the fire resources on the retreat fire are also shifting to the Lodgepole fire. The Department of Energy has scheduled an emergency drill for today, and part of that drill includes activating sirens on the Hanford site. One of the areas impacted is known as the 300 area near the Columbia River, about 1 mile north of Richland. Sirens in the 400 area will also be activated. That's 4 miles north of the Columbia River and 6 miles northwest of Richland. Expect the sirens to be activated sometime between 12:30 and 1:30 p.m. today. More than a week after the initial count for the Washington primary, Tiffany Smiley has conceded she will not be the one of the top 2 candidates to move on to the November election for the 4th congressional district race, but stopped short of endorsing either of the 2 fellow Republican candidates still in the running. While the final certification won't happen until next week, there aren't many votes left to count. Jared Sessler has the most votes, grabbing just over 33% so far. Incumbent Dan Newhouse has more than 23% of the vote, and Tiffany Smiley is in third with around 19%. In a statement from Tiffany Smiley posted on social media, she says in part, quote, "I got in this race to break through the status quo that has plagued our state far too long and to stand up for the millions who desire a voice for the good of the state. I will never stop fighting for those who recognize the need to promote and support conservative values." However, again, no endorsement yet of either Jared Sessler or Dan Newhouse, both fellow Republicans who will face off in November. We have left messages for the Smiley campaign asking if she plans to endorse either candidate, but have not heard back yet. We'll let you know when we do. Now, in the Lower Valley, there's a big change coming to the Sunnyside School Board's 2025 election. KIMA's John Franklin tells us more.
So we decided that we needed to challenge the electoral system with the Sunnyside School Board.
It's important to give everyone in our community a voice in the upcoming election.
The 2025 Sunnyside School Board election will no longer be voted at large, but by district.
And so the people in 1, 2, 3, and 4 picked who was going to represent the people of District 5, meaning they didn't get to pick who represented them. Now the people of District 5 will get to choose who represents them and how they want to see the school district move.
This change came after some people thought that the at-large voting system violated the Washington Voters' Rights Act by diluting Latinx voters.
In April, we were notified by the ACLU that they really wanted to come up with a system that would allow our voters to have a better voice.
This is not the first time a change from voting at large to district format has happened in the Yakima Valley. In 2022, one case changed Yakima's city council race in the same way.
I think overall there is a trend toward moving away from at-large voting systems, and certainly that's a trend that the ACLU intends to keep moving.
This could have the power to change how the Sunnyside School Board looks in the next election.
Really excited about the 2025 elections because this brings all 5 seats within the school district up for election this next year.
Reporting in Sunnyside for Action News, I'm John Franklin.
KIMA's John Franklin, thank you. And there are also new maps for the Sunnyside School Board district to be used in the 2025 election. However, they still need to be approved by a judge. By the first day of school, all students are required to be up to date on their vaccinations. For Kennewick School District, this is by August 28th. There are multiple vaccinations required in order to attend school. If for medical, religious, or personal reasons, parents are able to exempt their students from vaccinations. However, the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine is only allowed to have a religious or medical exemption. We're told these vaccines are crucial for keeping our schools and students safe and healthy.
Our number one priority is keep the safety and health of our students. In recent years, on the west side, particularly pertussis, whooping cough, we've seen an outbreak of measles, mumps, and rubella. If a child is not fully vaccinated, we are directed by the health department on if they're excluded from school or not.
You can find the requirement charts on our website for each school district. Just head over to KEPRTV.com. And with many parents and students preparing for the new school year and with school supply prices constantly wavering, the Yakima Rotary Club is hoping to lighten the load. Later today, the club will be preparing backpacks filled with school supplies that they will be delivering to a school on students' first day. We will have a full report on that giveaway tonight at 5. And with that, let's jump right over to meteorologist Jefferson Donovan. Jefferson, speaking of tonight at 5, that's kind of the tail end of the warmer hours of the day. What can we expect in terms of temperature-wise?
Well, we're going to be in the 80s. It's going to be a day very similar to the last couple of days in terms of those temperatures, but we're also going to be looking at a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. Now, today, it's just that, a slight chance. Most of us are going to be staying calm. Most of us won't see anything, but region-wide, that slight chance of showers and thunderstorms does exist for this Thursday. It's as we do head into the weekend, namely on Saturday, that shower and thunderstorm chances will increase, especially through the Yakima and Kittitas valleys. We'll discuss those chances coming up.
Thanks, Jefferson. The time now is 5:09. Coming up on Keeper KIMA this morning, some more news on Boeing. NASA is still discussing whether to keep astronauts at the International Space Station until next year. It comes after several issues with Boeing's Starliner, from helium leaks to thruster problems. Originally meant to be an 8-day trip, the issues have caused the astronauts' trip to last months. We'll break down the situation. But later in the show, top stories, another hurricane is moving through the Atlantic. It became a Category 1 yesterday as it battered Puerto Rico. Residents there getting hit with heavy rain, strong winds, and power loss. But that's just a peek of what's coming down the pike this morning. Stay with us. We have more news and weather ahead.